What's up, viewers? It's your old friend Derek Tant. And we're going to talk about the Food and Drug Administration and, an update on the tobacco industry's fight against the tobacco deeming rules. Ugh. I assume you know what that is. Before we get into that, I'm smoking Thanksgiving Day by L.J. Peretti. Thank you, Ben. In this Dagner Cobb. Delicious. Drinking some Brimstone. Very smoky. Very sweet. In my custom whiskey glass. Woo! All right. Let's get to it. Okay, let's just get a quick update. In 2009, Congress, acting under, Nancy Pelosi, the new Democratic Congress under the new direction of Barack Obama, they passed the Tobacco Control Act, which gave the FDA authority to regulate cigarettes, cigarette tobacco, roll your own tobacco, and smokeless. But they also inserted just like this little clause saying, hey, FDA, if you see anything else that needs to be regulated, just deem it as tobacco and go ahead and do that and take care of it. So last year, the FDA said, okay, we're going to do that. And we're going to regulate e-cigarettes, hookahs, pipe tobacco, and premium cigars. Now, premium cigars and pipe tobacco have been on the market forever. People have been smoking that stuff since the inception of this country. George Washington farmed tobacco. All right? Our founding fathers smoked pipes and cigars. It's as American as apple pie. All right? And so, but the FDA's regulations threaten to actually destroy the industry by imposing arbitrary and arduous regulations and fees that make it basically just impossible to operate. Pipe shops, cigar shops, they operate on such slim margins to begin with. The fact that, now that the government's trying to step in and regulate it and impose fees, it's just going to make it impossible for them to stay open. Businesses are closing down. Tewksbury in Denver has already shut down. Hobbit's weed. No more Hobbit's weed, folks. So, that's the bad news. Well, that's what we should know. You should know that already if you don't. So, but the good news is that three industry organizations from the tobacco industry have banded together and have sued the FDA. That's the CRA, Cigar Rights of America, the CAA, Cigar Association of America, or the IPCPR, which is the International Premium Cigar and Pipe Retailers Association. These three organizations, which represent three different aspects of the pipe and cigar industry, they've banded together, and they're pooling their resources to take the FDA to court. And if you heard it in some of my previous videos, I told you that they were going to be going to court and they were going to be going before the judge initially in the fall of this year, so a couple months ago. Well, that happened, and most of it's been kind of just technical, procedural, back and forth stuff. But the big news now is that arguments, the arguments going before the judge to hash this crap out, is going to happen on July 28th, 2017. And that's actually going to be just like a couple of weeks after the IPCPR trade show that takes place annually in Las Vegas. So they're going to have their awesome little powwow in Las Vegas, which I hope I get an invitation to. I'd love to go to that because that's around my birthday. But they're going to have their convention, their meeting, and then after that, it's going to be game on in Washington, D.C., where they're going to go before the courts. Now, the IPCPR, CRA, and CAA, when they filed their lawsuit, they put together a very well-crafted series of arguments against the FDA, which should just completely shut them down. If any reasonable man should be able to look at it and say, yeah, the FDA has stepped outside of their bounds. So, some of the stuff that the IPCPR, they're going to challenge against the FDA, they're challenge the grandfather date for the pipes and cigars is February 15th, 2007. They're challenging the illegal taxes, which in the form of user fees against the pipe and cigar industry. By the way, they're not imposing those fees on the e-cigarette vaping industry. It's just against tobacco. No cost-benefit analysis. Yeah, they were supposed to determine what these regulations, how they were going to affect businesses, how they were going to affect the shop owners and the workers, the employees. These regulations have the potential to destroy thousands of businesses and cause tens of thousands of people to go into unemployment. The FDA's answer to all that was, well, tobacco retailers can just shift shelf space to non-tobacco products. What is that? That's not even an answer. That's ridiculous. And so, and they're challenging the fact that they're saying that pipes themselves are tobacco products and subject to regulation, which is a contradictory thing. A pipe is used to hold the tobacco and smoke it out of. It's not a tobacco component itself, but the FDA says that this thing is tobacco. And they also say, what else? That, if your favorite tobacco shop blends some tobaccos together and creates their own blend, the FDA is saying that they are manufacturing tobacco. No, they're not. They're just taking tobacco A and mixing it with tobacco B to create tobacco C. But they're not creating anything new. Tobacco A is tobacco A, and tobacco B is tobacco. It already existed. They're not manufacturing. They're blending. But so all of this to say is that these guys, the IPCPR, the CRA, and the CAA, have crafted together some excellent and reasonable arguments against the FDA. And on July 28th, it's going down. A lot of this stuff is going to get hashed out. And it's going to be a big red letter day for the future of those who enjoy pipe tobacco and cigars. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. So I would encourage you to support those organizations, the CRA, the CAA, and the IPCPR. Back them up, contribute, help them out. Fight against this oppressive government regulation. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in for more updates as they come. Smell my beard.